Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Enrique, aka the Aries Gamer. Welcome to Basement Radio Arcade, the Basement Radio Arcade podcast. And yes, it's me. You can see my face, like Dave Chappelle said. What was that skit again, Eric?
The what was his Biggins or something like that, where he was the KKK blind racist or
The
whatever, but he
blind
didn't know he was
racist.
black. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You want to see my face, dude? That show is classic, man. That show is so
Oh man,
funny.
I still watch it to this day, and it's the best.
No, it is, man. It definitely is. So I'm all right. Looks like Worry. Hey, we got some folks in the chat room. We have Worry. So Warrior Wart's actually joined us in the chat room, and I think he's going to be joining us this evening as well, depending on what time he
Awesome.
gets in. He may join us later on. But for those of you who are new to the podcast, just listening to us tonight, make a quick introduction to my co-host here, Eric Jackson, senior writer for EXL Gaming. Eric, hey man, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I can't complain, man. It's Tuesday, and tomorrow is Hump Day, and I'm ready to game, man. I just picked up, a matter of fact, just downloaded Rocket League for the Xbox.
Nice.
Yeah, so I played it one time on the PlayStation 4. It was fun,
Hmm.
but I didn't end up picking it up because I don't have a lot of like PlayStation Network friends. Truth be told, I just don't.
Right.
I tend to do a lot of offline gaming on my PlayStation 4,
Hmm.
and where my Xbox One tends to be my online console. So I think I'm going to have more friends on live playing Rocket League. So I'm excited, man. I look forward to it.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
that's definitely a game where the more the merrier. Like the more people you have, the more fun you have, and I think, and I would like to think that it's going to resonate well with Xbox fans and find a nice home there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I hope.
fun. It's
Yeah.
just real fun, man. You know.
No, it's fun. And it's like, to me, it's like the perfect game for Xbox Live. Great game. It's a great game where you can play with your friends and just have fun. I mean, it's a fun game. I know it received some criticism at times and was often called something else besides Rocket League.
Right.
But it's a fun game. I mean, it really
Still is
is.
being called something else. you know.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing that. I don't know if I'll get some time in this evening to play, but
Hmm.
it's up on my screen right now. I'm looking at it, and I played the tutorial a little bit
Hmm.
to kind of give myself a refresher.
Hmm.
And it's a lot. It isn't as easy as just driving a car hitting the ball. There's definitely a little
No, man.
more
Oh,
involved.
no, 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 no. That's the thing. Like it looks like on paper as you start playing it, it looks like it's super simple, but the mechanics, yeah, like you can line up a shot and be way off and curse and be ready to throw your controller, you know. But it's definitely got that addictive, thing that you want a game to have. So,
Yeah,
so
no, it
I'm
definitely
excited.
does.
I think I'm gonna double dip and definitely get it for Xbox because I don't want to miss out on that.
Yeah, let me know, man. Let me know. We'll get a couple games going. I don't know. I don't know if Mama Sita's picking this up, but if she is, and hopefully she's listening, we probably should get a group together and get her on board and play some Rocket League. So definitely look forward to it. And speaking of
Definitely.
Mama Sita, she's actually not joining us tonight. Mama, if you're listening to us, we miss you
Hey,
already.
Mama.
Yeah, big shout out to Mama. She's actually she was actually doing her podcast on Tuesday nights as well. So she was actually doing her podcast live,
Hmm.
and then jumping into our podcast here. And she's now kind of just focusing on her podcast and trying to get some more guests on. So
Right.
hopefully we can get her on the Green Room, which is our Xbox centric podcast. And if you guys missed that, that's up right now. Definitely check that out. Thursday was our first the Green Room, and it it really came at a good time,
Hmm.
considering the news we got with Quantum Break.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, Eric. Should we talk about Quantum Break anymore? I mean, is this something we should rehash, or is it? Do you have any additional thoughts now that we've kind of gone through the aftermath of Quantum Break on PC?
Just to say, I think people are finally kind of like settling in and maybe taking the idea of, hey, let's just kind of see where it goes. And I think if they are taking that approach, I think that's a good thing because, like, I think you and I talked privately offline. We were kind of saying that, Xbox and Microsoft, they've been really good at kind of giving us features that we at one point didn't think that we needed or wanted. And one being, we can go back to the OG Xbox and say the Ethernet port for one. I know a lot of people were like, well, I'm on a 56K. What the hell do I need with an Ethernet and this and that? And they were kind of like, hey, we're not dealing with that anymore. We see where the future is going. You can come along. So, I think we just need to play like the wait and see game.
Yeah, and we do. I mean, we don't really know exactly what's going to happen. It's kind of a wait and see, like you said. I mean, there's a plan there, and I guess we could all say and argue that maybe they haven't. Maybe Microsoft really hasn't done a great job communicating what that plan is. I mean, I personally think I kind of have an idea. I mean, it's they're trying to create an ecosystem,
right?
And I think we'll probably learn more in the next couple of weeks. I think it's a week and a half that they have the.
Yeah, on the 25th they have
25th, right?
The Windows 10 event. So I'm sure there'll be more news there, some good information, hopefully some announcements. Because I think if you give some announcements, some good things that could be coming Xbox One, that'll go a long way in kind of, calming the audience and kind of giving people something to kind of talk about as opposed to like anything negative, But actually, like I said, since last week, I haven't really seen a lot of negativity, and seems like people are kind of just, dying down and maybe seeing just where it's going. So,
exactly. So, real quick again, Eric, I want to give a shout out to the folks in the live chat. Again, Worry's in here. Mama actually,
in there.
Yeah, Mama says hello. Mama, thank you for dropping in to say hi. Again, we miss you, and hope to have you on again soon. And Slap Happy Gamers here.
Hey, Slap Happy.
And Slap Happy, actually, I did a YouTube stream of Firewatch yesterday. He was actually Slap Happy actually joined the live stream and was watching it from work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So thank you again, Slappy, for taking time out of your crazy work day to watch you play Firewatch. So. And speaking of games we're playing right now, let's talk about that real quick, Eric. What games are you playing right now?
Well, Firewatch is one of them. I kind of started on it. I haven't gotten very far. Still playing doing Gravity Rush. Still playing Mad Max. And I caution people, go play Mad Max. Don't listen to some of the reviews.
That's your game of the year.
Yeah, Mama Sita and I kind of have we said we're going to go on a mission. And I know it was in 2015, but we're going to try to make that 2016 game of the year. Sleeper game of the year.
Your sleeper game of the year.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of been it. I actually, and I'm actually working on a review for EXL of this game, Electronic Superjoy, which has been out on Steam, iOS, and Android, I believe, but it's coming to Xbox One. So keep an eye out on that. It's crazy. It's a platformer that uses like electronic music, but it's super adult, super funny. The jokes are insane. It's difficult, but not difficult to the point where you just want to throw your controller. It's addictive difficult.
So you won't rage quit.
You won't rage quit, but it's intense. So,
gotcha.
So that's kind of what I've been playing the most. What about you?
You know what, man? It's you just mentioned Firewatch, and so I was trying to hold off, man. We talked about this. I'm backlogged. I mean, I really am. I mean, I'm
still backlogged from 360. So
if I'm being honest with myself, I'm backlogged from last gen too. But I just moved on. I said the hell with it. I can't. I don't have the time to play all these games. I really don't. I mean, if I showed you the stack of 360 games I have that I haven't played, you'd be like, holy shit, what are you doing? So I was playing, or I am playing, Life is Strange. So I'm playing that.
I still have that too.
You still have you? So
I stopped on episode 2 actually.
You stopped on episode 2?
Yeah, I got to get back to that. Yeah.
All right, so you're about as backlogged as I am then. So, so I started that. What else am I playing? I was also playing The Witcher 2. I went back and got that on backwards compatibility. So I started playing that.
That's in my backlog also.
Yep. Gravity Rush, played that. Or playing that. The Last of Us Remastered. Rainbow Six Siege. So I went out and bought Firewatch. I told myself, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna buy Firewatch. I'm not gonna do it because I have all this other shit I need to play.
Right.
But I don't know. I think I was talking to Worry, and I was talking to someone else, and then I was like, I gotta buy this game.
Right.
And
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
no, go ahead, man.
No, I think what made me kind of pull the trigger on it was hearing that it's not super long, and you can kind of get through it in like one sitting. I haven't done that yet, but also just it's so polarizing in the reviews and what people have been saying about it. It's one of those games that because it's so polarizing, it kind of draws you in. Like you want to see what people are either hating about it or loving about it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And you're
So-
right. It is a short game. I mean, you can, and that's actually one of the reasons why I picked it up because you could play it in one sitting if you had to, if you could do it.
How far have you got into it?
I actually just started day 3,
Day 3. Okay. I'm on
Yeah.
day 2.
so you're on day 2.
Yeah.
So I gotta be honest with you, man. I really like it. I you know. I actually really enjoyed the beginning of the game because I thought they did a great job creating this kind of backdrop, the main character Henry, and setting up like what he's gone through up until the point to, him getting to the national park that he's at.
Right, which is actually some pretty deep choices you can make.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much of the story away. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't played it
Right.
yet. But you're right. There's some choices in the beginning of the game, and there's dialogue choices throughout the game too. And I really like the character dialogue between Henry and Delilah. I think Delilah is funny as shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she makes the game.
I actually pissed her off
Did you really?
already. Yeah.
Oh,
I kind of got like a little snarky with her in one of my choices, and kind of she was having a conversation. I got outside of it, and then the way I responded to her, she was like, "Okay, I think I'm taking a break from you." And I was like, "Okay."
So yeah,
It's
I
like real life.
yeah, right. I haven't pissed her off yet, so haven't done that. Oh, so Worry's saying he needs a link. Let's see here. Eric, I actually sent him the invite through Google Hangouts.
Okay.
All right, Worry, we're gonna hold on a sec here. Try to get him something. All right. So yeah, I really like the game. It's I know that indies kind of get a knock sometimes because they're not the most visually appealing or realistic games, but I love the visuals in this game. It's one of the things that really stood out for me when they first showed this game, and when I popped it in, or I should say when I popped in because I got the digital copy. When I turned it on, I was just pleasantly surprised, man. I really like the visuals of the game. It has that cell shaded effect. Yeah, and the colors, the atmosphere just has a lot of pop to it. I really like it. I think it looks great.
Yeah. Kind of has like that Pixar type character modeling,
Yeah, no, it does. It really
Yeah.
does. And don't you think it's kind of a nice break from the norm, from playing all like the games that are just realistic?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know like I've seen some people in their like review or their like walkthroughs of it, they some people have been kind of down on it, saying it's boring, it's slow. It's another like what do you call it, like a walking simulator.
Walking sim, yeah.
But I think one of the reviews that I saw on it, I think it was Ryan McCaffrey on IGN, he said games like this he kind of looks at in the same vein as like taking a good book and just taking a break and reading it.
Yeah.
And that is kind of what it stands at. It's not hectic, it's not crazy, just kind of going along for the ride. And the time commitment kind of gives you that. If this is like a 40-hour game, then yeah, I could see maybe some fatigue setting in. But it's something that is 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, sort of like you could say it's sort of like just taking a nice book or reading like a short story or something.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we have our third special guest of the evening, Mr. Worrywart.
There are ladies and gentlemen here.
Just bros tonight.
Just bros. Well, I was
Yeah.
I was kind of addressing the folks in the chat room. Bella, I think, is the only lady in there right now.
Well, in the
Okay.
chat, yeah, Bella's like hanging out by herself in there.
Yeah. Hey, Bella. Give a shout out to her real quick. So what's going on, Worry?
Nothing at all. What's the discussion besides MPD?
Well, right, right now
gotten there yet,
yeah, we haven't
but,
gotten there yet. Right now we're talking about games that we're playing. We're just talking about Firewatch.
Oh, how is it?
It's great. Eric and I were just chatting about saying that how much we really like the game and how much we enjoy the
I hear
character
it's
dialogue.
short.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
2 to 3 hours,
Oh,
is what I've heard. Yeah, it's short, but I don't know. I think it kind of I'm okay with 2 to 3 hours because of the amount of walking that you do in this game.
okay.
Yeah.
How much is the game?
It's
19
17
bucks.
if you're 17
Yeah,
if
or
you're
17
a PS
if you're-
Plus member.
$17. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Pick it up, Worry.
Yeah, I mean, I loved. PlayStation seems to get a lot of those. Like everybody's going to Rapture, Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I love those games. So this looks like one of those games that I would like to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah. That's what we were just kind of talking about. Is saying, sometimes it's good to break away from the more intense games that we're playing and just take a little stroll. Take a little break through something that's not as taxing, not as long. You can just kind of go along for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, those games are important. I mean, you can get the. I think we talked about this with Ryan McCaffrey, where he was saying, they're like all these little games spaced out add up to almost the same impact that one big game adds up to. You know what I mean?
that's
It's kind of like getting fed
Yeah.
one big meal or a lot of little meals throughout the year. So they're important.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's a great point. And that was actually a great podcast, by the way, where I did get a
Oh,
chance.
it
to
wasn't
listen to that.
mine. I can't take credit for it.
No, I know. It was the guys over at TXR, Southbound,
Yeah.
all those guys. It was a great podcast interview with Ryan McCaffrey, and he actually that's a great point too. I mean, I think he was he referring to some of the good things or that Sony's done this console generation.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
reaching out to indies early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
that's
that was a good
great
interview,
point.
Worry. You guys did a really good job with that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Rory had some great questions.
Again, prepared.
Yes, you were very prepared.
Yeah, I was nervous with the David Jaffe one because I wanted to make sure that I remembered all the stuff that he did because he's done so much. But Ryan's is the IGN guy, so we could pretty much talk to him about anything, ask him questions.
Yeah,
It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I'm playing right now, guys. Firewatch, and I'm still trying to get through Life is Strange. I think I just got to episode 3.
It is. That's one of. I don't know how that game wasn't celebrated more. It is absolutely fantastic. When you get, I'm not going to ruin it for you, Enrique, but once you get past that third chapter, it starts to just pick up, and it's so well
don't
written,
tell
so
me.
well done.
Don't tell me.
I love that game. Love it.
Yeah,
It
that's
is. It is very well. It's well written. It is. I love it. I love the dialogue, the character dialogue, the story. Like I'm almost at the edge of my seat a lot of the times. I'm
It's
just waiting for something to
fantastic.
happen.
Yeah, it is a fantastic game. You should. I mean, everyone should check that game out.
Yeah, I finished chapter 2. I got to get back in there because I remember you were saying that when it hit chapter 4, it was like
Oh yeah, it's
it hit the gas.
It's crazy.
Gee, you know what, Warrior? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm kind of tempted to ask you what happens, but I don't want to.
No, I would never tell you even if you asked. Never happened.
You wouldn't spoil it for me. Thank you.
No.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. So, and then I think that's it for me, guys. I think that's pretty much it in terms of what I'm playing and just being backlogged right now, which is crazy because there's more stuff coming out.
Yeah.
There's a ton of stuff coming. Man, like I don't think we're ever going to get out of being backlogged, to be honest with you.
Well, that's not a bad problem to have.
Not at all. Not at all. But
You know what's crazy?
definitely, yeah.
It gets worse in March. I mean, in March and April.
Yeah, Quantum Break is March, right?
April.
April. Oh, March. April is Quantum Break, and I think March is Uncharted, isn't it? Or is that April too?
No, that's April too.
That's April.
Oh
also.
my God.
So
Yeah.
next month we have doesn't
Life
Street Fighter
stops in
5?
April.
Oh, March is Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet
for
no.
PS4.
March is no, that's April too. Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my. Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. It gets bad,
April's
Worry.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Jesus.
April, you know what April's like? April's like Christmas and spring.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
If Christmas was ever in spring.
Yeah, if it was. But it's like that. You have all these games, all these big. You have Dark Souls 3. Are you guys big Souls fans or no?
No, I'm not at all.
I played the first one.
You're getting the original Dark Souls backwards compatible if you pre-order 3.
Yeah, you are getting that. That's right.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, Souls kick my ass.
Yeah, not my type of game.
Yeah,
I tried Bloodborne and I wanted to just poke my eyes out with a red hot poker.
Wait, worry. Didn't you tell me? I think it was you. You told me that playing Bloodborne's like hanging upside down and hitting yourself in the balls or something.
Yeah, with a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I just couldn't. I tried so hard to. Maybe I'm just old. I don't know. People were telling me, "You're not a real gamer. You're not a real gamer. You didn't beat Bloodborne." I'm like, "All right, man. I'm not a real gamer. I can't do it."
Worry, you are not a real gamer.
I know. I'm just.
So let's see. Let's see.
Rough.
Where you have a long career of gaming, but it all came crashing down around Bloodborne.
Exactly. Right. It's all over.
Oh, it was downhill from there.
Bloodborne. Great looking game, and I get it. I get the people like if you love Souls type of games, you're gonna love Bloodborne. But I just the whole progress a little bit, kill everything, and then die, and then bam, right back to the beginning again. And everything you killed respawns, and do it all over again.
Do it over again.
Yeah. It's just not fun for me.
Yeah,
I'm still working on Bloodborne, and like I said, I went through Dark Souls. I played it, and I enjoyed it.
I did like
Bloodborne.
It.
Yeah, I did like it. Not so much that I want to go through it again, but I have to say I like Bloodborne better because I know this may sound crazy, but it moves faster, it's swifter, it's more about being offensive as opposed to being defensive. It's not as much of a slog. So, but it definitely is one of those games where you're like.
Yeah, it's definitely a polarizing game. You have to either love it or those types of games or there is no trying it. You know what I mean? If you're a person that doesn't know you're already going to like it, there is no trying it and liking it.
there is no try. There's do.
You either love it or you just forget about it. Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's even I remember I had friends like casual gamers. I have friends that are casual gamers, and they picked up Dark Souls last console generation, and I remember them. They were like, "It's the worst game ever. I hate it. It's too hard." And a lot of them just traded it back in.
No, I can see that, man. It's just it's not for everyone. That's for damn sure.
No, it's not. So
Yeah,
and then I think this March is Street Fighter V, right?
That's out already, right?
Oh, is it out already?
That came out. Yeah,
yes.
That came out today.
Yeah.
Why do I think March for some reason? I don't know why. I thought March.
That is out.
All right, so that's out. Are you guys picking that up?
I'm not a fighting game fan. Never been. So, not for me.
I did pick it up.
Oh, nice. How is it?
I haven't had a chance to play it yet. As well, So maybe once we get off tonight.
I heard that it's missing quite a bit of content.
Yeah, they're going to be adding the story mission sometime. Was it end of March, into April? And I did hear some people were having server issues, but from what I understand, they reset the servers today.
Well,
usually when a big game comes out, they always have those issues.
Yeah, so I heard like it just got hit, like the server just got hit
Destiny.
really hard. So.
Right.
But I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I did hear that some people's their progress got reset also in the process.
Oh shit, that hurts. That sucks.
So, but I can't confirm that. I don't know if that's legit. So maybe I'm starting a fire. I shouldn't start. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Bella just in the chat room just said that their servers are still down.
Servers are still down.
And she said, "Get your shit together, Capcom."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Your servers are still down.
Yeah, because it is on the Capcom side. I know a lot of people are giving Sony like a lot of crap for it, but it's on the Capcom side.
So it's not a Sony issue. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks for the people that picked up the game and can't play it. She's also saying that the training room is only 1v1. Share play isn't working or streaming either. That sucks.
Yeah. I saw Forbes put out an article that basically said that
I did see that. Did you see that article? I wasn't going to bring that up.
Hold on, what did they say?
They're saying as it stands right now.
Yeah, it was a bad article, man. Woof.
Hold on, what did they say? I didn't catch the article.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, they're basically saying as it stands right now, it's not a $60 title.
Ooh.
Yeah. I really enjoy Forbes. I try and stay away from traditional gaming media when it comes to anything newsworthy, because I like the fact that non-traditional gaming media, they don't have any skin in the game like traditional gaming media would. And that article today, man, I was laughing at the title. What was the title? It was something about like a ripoff or something.
I gotta look this up. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, they are not giving them any pass with this one.
Wow. So they just totally called him out. Said not.
Yeah, they were
not
like, it's just. I remember reading it. I don't want to quote it because I'm not sure if I remember exactly what they said, but I remember them saying something to the effect that, if you're going to charge this kind of money for a product that isn't even close to being complete, then that's almost like akin to I don't want to put words in their mouth. Read the article.
That's okay. You can speculate on what
I can pull it up now.
Yeah,
you could speculate.
No, you know what happens when you speculate.
That's true.
Yeah, you get yourself in trouble. So
I'm actually trying to look this up right now.
Yeah, I do read them almost daily, Forbes, for a lot of other things, and gaming's really good. What was the title?
The title is when charging $60 is criminal.
Yep.
Street Fighter 5 doesn't even have arcade mode.
Yep.
Oh,
there's the word.
Criminal. I mean,
criminal.
They came out swinging on that article.
Yeah, they were not happy.
No, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check out some of the reviews.
Like Bella just said in the chat, she said it's not good enough. Like she's like, I'll put up with some server issues, bugs, etc., but not being able to play at all. Nope. #fail. Yeah. And that's what people have been saying on Twitter today. I mean, again, I'm not trying to turn this into like a battle of any sort, but
it's impossible not to do that.
But it is. I mean,
all of a sudden, Forbes is going to be like anti-PlayStation now.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. But it is what it is. I mean, we have the hard fact. I mean, it
shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. I mean, it's a big game. It really is. It's a big exclusive. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure they've had plenty of time to work on some things, so. You can excuse the server issues on the first day.
Right.
Obviously, there's a lot of people that are interested in Street Fighter, so that's normal. That happens. Mm-hmm. But the content thing is a bit rough.
Yeah, especially.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess for me, like a fighting game like that, I mean, does it really need a single player like mode? I mean, I don't know.
I'm not into fighting games, so I don't. I mean, I'm sure if you're into fighting games, then you're going to buy Street Fighter, obviously, right?
Yeah, but I would buy to play. I played Street Fighter when I was like a kid, the arcades. I mean, so it wouldn't matter to me to have the first party stuff. Because I would be like, okay, I'm going to go online and I'm going to play it online.
Was the character that big character Blanca? Was that Street Fighter?
That's Street Fighter. It's Blanca. Yeah.
When you said arcade, I remember that he was like orange with orange hair or something like that.
Yeah,
and green.
Yeah. It looked like an ex-girlfriend of mine.
Oh,
okay.
Is she in the chat tonight? Let's see.
Hey, ugly girls need love too.
Ugly girls do need love too.
Well, I don't know. But, I mean, I know they're also going to be introducing 6 new characters in the next couple of months or something like that.
Are they free?
DLC.
Or do you...
Well, that's the thing. You can either pay for them or you can go the traditional route of just playing through the game and unlocking them. But I think that's a part of the story mode. Which
you know what's interesting too? If you bought the special edition Street Fighter, it comes with the statue and all. You still have to pay for those characters.
Right.
Like usually when you buy a special edition, you get all the DLC.
Right.
Wow.
Right. So that's a bit rough too.
So Forbes is right by calling it criminal.
Hey, well, that Forbes said that. You know what I mean? Not me.
Forbes is biased now, Worry.
Right. Forbes has always been anti-PlayStation.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my God.
I would tell a lot of people, if you really want, like good reporting on certain game scenarios, they do a pretty good job.
I like them a lot. I really do. I like them for almost everything.
And exlgaming.com, of course.
Warrior,
right. Sorry.
The guys who write those articles, are they real journalists?
I would say that they are. They're not enthusiast media people. They're actual journalists, so.
Do you know where I'm going with that?
Which I did like Ryan's explanation on that on the podcast.
It's interesting because I think that gamers give traditional gaming media people more credit than I think maybe they even think they deserve as being journalists. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not. They're covering things like TMZ. But I think gamers are like, no, they're journalists. They're really journalists. No, they're not. It's not like they're covering Sri Lanka. They're covering video games.
Exactly. Like
Sri Lanka.
They're not like in an Apache helicopter being shot at.
Exactly. right.
Yeah.
Those people are like
that's news, right?
They're not chasing down the next story, the next big story.
Right.
No,
which has kind of always been my feeling. I'm like, you're burning a lot of energy on someone who is essentially kind of doing what you're doing, like on Twitter.
It's not even worth it. I'm so tired of talking about that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah,
especially after last week. So Bella actually, the chat, she said that she left early yesterday to be home in front of her console to play Street Fighter V as soon as the countdown timer began.
Oh man!
She said when the timer was done, to only have the training room available, facepalm. So that was the only thing that was available in the game when it went live was the training room.
Well,
rough.
Oh yeah,
and I haven't played Street Fighter since probably Ultra 4 on 360 because I kind of moved over to Marvel vs. Capcom for a long time.
Well, that was a good one.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, all right, cool, I'm ready to get back into some Street Fighter. Let's do this, but we'll see, man. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's almost like a Destiny approach.
Oh, don't say that. That's not good if that's that approach.
Piecemealing the content there.
Yeah, that's not good.
Which you wouldn't think should happen for a game like Street Fighter. We've never seen that before. Like with a fighting game.
Well, I mean, if they're getting away with it, why not? It's a way to make money, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if they get, like Boris said, if they get away with it, people are buying the game, and no one's really, raising their arms. I'm sure some people are, but yeah.
Well, they're just all anti-PlayStation people.
They're what?
They're just all anti-PlayStation people. How dare you say that that's criminal?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. What's wrong with just having the training room?
I'd give them $120 for 2 characters.
It runs at 1080p. What's wrong with you?
Right.
But what about...
I wonder
this
how
is coming
that
on the
person
PC too,
feels.
right, guys?
Yes, it's on the PC too.
Okay.
But I wonder how that person feels that is like that fighting game person, and like this is the one
it's a
that
shame.
they've been waiting on. You know?
Well, you know what? If they're that person, they're going to find value in it anyway, and they'll wait for the single player stuff, and they'll wait for the DLC, and they'll enjoy it.
Right.
Damn. You know what sucks is those hardcore guys that have sticks. Have you guys seen those arcade sticks?
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah. I actually knew a couple guys back like in the days that I used to game with on Xbox Live that had sticks. They would send me pictures. Like one guy I knew actually made his own sticks. He was hardcore. And what's that big tournament they have? Evo, is that what it's called?
Evo.
Yeah, he would go to that. He was insane. But yeah, can you imagine those guys tonight with the sticks? They have to be mad.
It's crazy. I can't get into it. I just never got into fighting games. What was the one on the original Xbox? Was it Tao Ling Enter the Fist or something? Or what was it?
It was like Tao Mang or something.
Yeah.
Enter the Fist.
I just remember the big green girl with the busty chest. That's all I remember. I don't know why. That's all I remember.
I'm not surprised that you only remember the one character with the busty chest.
Yeah.
That's okay. Actually, I will admit I did buy Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball. Guilty as charged.
I bought it too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel.
It was
bad
actually
then.
a really good, fun volleyball game, wasn't it? I'm
It
just
actually
making an excuse for buying.
No. All joking aside, where it actually wasn't a bad game.
Yeah, they were all on Zack Island, right?
Yeah, Zack Island. That's right.
Playing volleyball and solving crimes.
Yeah, and you could change. You could kind of swap their
the volleyballs.
Yes, and this this.
You meant the bikini, right?
Yes, thank you. And Blow Diablo said they all have busty cheats. Oh, chest.
Busty cheats.
Look at like DOA.
Yeah, DOA. That's it. That was it. Yeah, beach volleyball.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember that game. I was like, beach volleyball. What the hell does that have to do with fighting?
Yep, it had nothing to do with fighting.
Had nothing to do with fighting at all.
That was Perv Simulator.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, man. I put down my $10 at GameStop and picked it up day one.
Oh really?
Oh,
you still have it?
He hides it under his bed.
Actually, I have to hide it from my wife.
Right.
It's under the mattress.
He's like, honey, where do you want to go this year for vacation? Zack Island?
Where's Zack Island? That's too fun. I will get my wife to cosplay some of the characters.
Virtual Fighter was one of my favorites from 360.
I remember.
Virtua Fighter's
When
good.
that came out on the PS2, right?
Well, Virtual Fighter, there was I think that was 4 on PS2, but this
Yes.
is Virtual Fighter 5. Yeah.
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 And what was the one on Dreamcast? Was that
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur? Yes.
Soul Calibur was good.
Lots of hours in the Soul Calibur, man.
Soul Calibur was good.
Yeah.
Didn't they have Yoda as one of the playable characters?
They
did.
Platform specific characters. They did have Yoda. They had Darth Vader.
Darth Vader,
oh
he's known for his karate technique, right? After
They
being
had,
burned by molten lava, he was just amazing.
Oh my gosh, he was strong in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, right. I never knew jiu-jitsu until I got burnt by lava,
Right.
and my arm and 2 legs chopped off.
His intro line was, "Where's Padme?"
Where's Padme?
Is she safe?
Is she?
Is she all right?
What's wrong with her?
Yes.
Oh, I felt her. She was alive. Oh God.
I got to be honest with you guys. I did not like. Who's the actor again who played Anakin Skywalker?
Hayden Christensen.
Yes, thank you. I did
That
not
guy.
care for him. I just didn't. I thought he was a bad Anakin.
He was a bad, as opposed to what?
Bad.
I don't know.
As opposed to which one? Which
I don't know. Anybody else who would have played Anakin Skywalker, I didn't think
Okay.
he. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, hey, they should have had. I don't know who they could have cast. Who else they could have cast in that role, but I didn't like him. I did not like him at all.
They should have just went to Tatooine and got an actor.
I suppose they could have done that.
Why not? That's not a real place.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's not a real place. By the way, Bella's saying that Capcom needs the money. They are in trouble, so they need to release it as is and add the rest after. Interesting.
And they know Street Fighter is a franchise that they can do that with, because they ain't making anything else unless they're going to do Onimusha.
Oh,
There's
Onimusha
a
would be
rumor
great.
of that. There's
Right.
a rumor of that,
I'm
and that was a
hoping.
great series.
Oh
That
man,
was
I love
that was
so.
great.
When that came out on the PS2, it was amazing.
Oh,
it was
it was.
absolutely amazing.
It was. Great
Yeah.
game. But yeah, there is that rumor going around that they're actually going to bring that franchise back.
Oh,
I'm hoping.
if they bring that back, that's going to be. I mean, that's huge because there really isn't any third-person action adventure hack and slash game other than you think of God of War, right? But
Yeah.
Right.
what else is there that you think of that fits that genre?
In this
mean,
current gen, nothing.
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 Right?
Yeah, nothing I can think
No.
of.
Well, the only game that kind of looked like that, and I'm not sure what it's going to turn out to be, is that game they showed at PSX, Neo.
Yes.
Neo.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
that.
Because when I saw that, I said, "Man, it kind of looks like Onimusha." I thought it was at first. I was like, "What are they doing that?"
Yeah, actually, it does. Well, isn't who's making that game? Because I feel like maybe some people who worked on Onimusha are working on that game. I could be wrong,
It's possible.
but you're right. That's when they show that game. That actually it's a samurai game.
It's Team Ninja.
Okay.
Oh, it is Team Ninja.
Team Ninja.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
it looked like
mean,
Ninja Gaiden then. I thought then that and okay, yeah, that looks like the closest thing to that kind of game.
Well, actually, let's see. If you consider it this generation, you have Devil's Third, which was
Yeah, you do have that. Yeah.
that's Itagaki, but that's on Wii U. That's locked on Wii U, and I don't know if people really want to unlock it.
No, it's got that. I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about how it's like a cult hit now because you can't find it anywhere, and
Yeah.
you know, if you see it, buy it. But I mean, cult hit or not, it's got to be good. You know, it just
Right.
can't be.
Yeah,
A
I'm
bad
actually like I actually tweeted a picture. I'm actually playing it right now, or not religiously. Like I keep jumping in and out of it because I was like I just had to see, and I'm a fan of Itagaki, so
How is it?
it's
Oh boy, never mind. Whenever you ask somebody how is it, and you hear it's okay, I got it.
well, I can't. It's insane. It pretty much is what it is. It's just like I know Itagaki's like out there, but I think the problem is that it is locked on the Wii U. So I think he had a vision for it,
Yeah,
but it just kind of got lost in like this development hell.
too much paint and the canvas is too small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and it seems like there's just like a whole bunch of trope of ideas just thrown in, but they never really had a true direction on it.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where they're like, just get it out and let's try to recoup something. You know, so
That happens a lot lately with games in development.
yeah. So it's not like I wanted to see. It's one of those things where it's kind of like, well, I'm a fan of Itagaki. I want to see what he was kind of thinking with it, and I know the reviews have been pretty like crappy on it, but I said, well, let's see. So, but it's not anywhere near what Ninja Gaiden was.
Yeah.
God,
You
Ninja
know.
Gaiden was just great.
Gaiden's amazing, man. I still like pull that out and like run through it every now and again.
That was
You
a
know?
great game. As
So
that was probably one of my favorite Xbox game. Well, when the Xbox version came out, when they brought that to that console.
you know what's funny with Devil's Third? The way it's built graphically and the way it kind of plays, it reminds me of like an early 360, like late OG Xbox game. In a way, it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Isn't Itagaki the guy with the funny face?
Yeah,
Yes.
in the shades. I would
Yeah,
just
the
love
Way
to
to
know
way to
what
judge.
happened.
Way to judge.
You know, Worry, that's how my memory works. I just remember those kinds of things about people.
You remember everyone's flaws. You remember
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible now. Right. Go ahead, backtrack it.
I know. I got to backtrack a little bit. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Yeah, you know, like that person used to smell in class. Yeah, that's how But I feel like most people remember him that way, right? The crazy hair, you know,
Shades.
the bad face.
Go ahead, keep going. Keep
Yeah,
going.
I'm taking myself a hole here. All right, guys. So we kind of just went off on this whole tangent of games and Capcom. And you know what? Speaking of Capcom, what's happened to them? Like they used to come out with so many games, and now it's just like, I don't feel like we really hear too much from them. And I'm still waiting for Deep Down, and I've lost hope in that game.
The expense of game development, and the uncertainty of taking a chance versus doing the same thing over and over and over again and just making money, and it's where we are. It's where game development is. That's why indie is so big now, because you could take those chances and you don't have to spend that much money, and you don't lose that much if it isn't a huge hit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and that's a great. You know, it kind of makes me think of Firewatch, a game that
Right.
you'd probably, we just wouldn't see a big developer do a game like that today.
No, not
It
at all.
wouldn't happen.
There's no way.
No, and I think that's why, you know, where I gotta be honest with you, coming into this console gen, I don't think I was. Well, I shouldn't say I don't think I really wasn't like a huge. I didn't play a lot of indies. You know, I was
Right.
more focused on, you know, the big AAA titles, and I was like, you know, indies, I'm not really interested, and I don't know, I just, you know, I started playing them more, and just, you know, just started liking what they were doing, just because they were doing things differently and they were taking chances that, you know.
I think people lump together, like, you remember when you had the Xbox Live Arcade?
Yeah.
Okay. See, to me, there's a difference between arcade titles and indie games. I think when you hear indie, people instantly think of those arcade titles that are $2, and you know, it's two-dimensional and it's left to right gameplay like Pong. But
Yeah.
that's not what indie games are now. So
No, they're not.
I was hearing rumors about Xbox Live Arcade being brought back, and I started to think about that whole distinction between, well, if Xbox Live Arcade is back, does that mean every indie game is going to be in there? Because I don't think there are a lot of indie games that are arcade titles.
Yeah, and you kind of look at how that whole thing grew, because you remember there was like a cap on
Yeah.
what a
Right,
on
how
what an
big the
arcade
game could be, right.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
that kind of got blown up really fast because the games got bigger and better, and
Right.
you know,
And
But yeah,
they
but
got
those-
better and bigger, but they kept the arcade moniker.
right,
Yeah.
Like, to
Yeah.
me, Pac-Man is an arcade game. You know, the reboot of Qbert, that could be an arcade title. But, you know, the indie game Everybody's Going to Rapture, that's not an arcade title,
right.
right?
No, it's not.
That's a
Right.
game.
That's a game. Yeah.
or even the game, what is it, Forgotten Planet that came out on the Xbox?
Yep.
And Nero, and what else is out? I mean, there's a lot of games that just aren't arcade titles, but they're indie. Or I
Yeah.
could be completely wrong. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I know some people have said that they should bring that back. What do you guys think?
Well, that's what it has to be, a distinction. I mean, if you bring back the arcade, then are you putting every indie game in the arcade and calling them arcade titles now, or you know, what is it? Because, you know, if you're in the Xbox Live Arcade and games are $1, or $2, then does a $15 game belong in there?
Right.
I don't think it does.
And I would venture to say that, like some of these independent developers probably don't want to be lumped in with.
Yeah, they don't even want to be called indie anymore.
Exactly.
Right. Can you imagine? We're not going to call you indie. We're going to call you arcade.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
They're not going to be happy about that. You're right. Because it's going to paint kind of it's going to lump them in. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm almost at a point now where I don't even really, I try not to refer to them as indies anymore.
No, same. I'm kind of actually trying to get away from that myself.
Yeah, because they're video games. I mean, it's let's call them what they are. They're video games. I mean, I think about Firewatch again, and I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a place for those big games. I mean, people look. People buy these consoles, and you hear about the power, and you hear about, we went from 32 to 16-bit to 32-bit to 128. You expect that big game, that game that showcases the hardware. There's nothing wrong with that, but the idea that indie games are somehow bad, or they can't. I mean, they can't showcase. But look at perfect example, Firewatch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to be something that you could have played on the 360. It's using the hardware to create those graphics, right? Or even the Witness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a Quantum Break or Halo 5, but it's still using the hardware to make something that looks really, really unique.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bella just brings up an interesting point here. She's saying in the live chatter, we have no problem with our games being referred to as indie. Where the issue lies is with people's perception of what that word actually means. I think that's a great point because I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier, worry about people lumping in indie games with kind of these 6 or 8-bit looking titles or arcade titles, and it's just not the case. Firewatch to me again is the best example of that game not kind of fitting what that stereotype that people think indie games are.
Right. Because it's easily written off as, it's just some little crappy 8-bit clone, and that's far from the truth.
Exactly.
In a lot of cases,
Exactly.
So, because I know I have a couple friends actually who are, the minute you say indie, they're just dismissive, like completely like, yep.
Really?
That's not what I.
Are they young?
No, like our age.
I'm 22.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Where he's like, yeah, I can tell by looking at you're not 22.
Yeah.
What gave that away, Worry?
I'm going to keep quiet.
Oh boy.
Your Itagaki comment gave it away.
Oh, that gave away my age?
Yeah.
That actually would.
Yeah.
That would give away my age. Hey guys, speaking of, I know we're talking about Soul Calibur like a little ways ago, but Sega's actually releasing some free content on Steam. Did you guys see that today?
I did not. I don't follow Steam or PC stuff.
Yeah, they're releasing some free content. I don't know exactly what games, but I thought that's actually pretty cool. They're doing that because I saw I didn't read the article. I saw it and it had actually what caught my eye. They had a logo of Jet Set Radio Future, which is
that's what caught my eye. And I saw free Jet Set Radio. I was like, what's that now?
Oh, so that's one of the free games?
Yeah, and then it was for Steam. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, but because I don't play many games on Steam at all, and I actually already own that one on 360. But it did catch my eye, the article,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games.
Wish that one would come back in some way. What would that be now? I mean, if you kind of try to
it
go,
would be an arcade title, an indie arcade / who knows.
Yeah, it probably would.
Or most people would just say it's Sunset Overdrive.
Well, I wouldn't consider Sunset like an arcade indie game. I mean, I see what you're saying with like Jet Set.
Yeah,
but
you look at it and instantly that's what it kind of like takes your mind back to.
Oh yeah, no, it absolutely does.
No, definitely not from an independent standpoint, I guess.
Yeah. Well, guys, we kind of deviated a little bit. So one of the things I want to talk about is the Homefront beta, and that's going to bleed into something else we're going to talk about. Eric, you didn't pick up? You guys didn't play the Homefront beta, did you get?
No, I didn't.
What about you, Eric?
I had it loaded up, And then I think the other night after the podcast, you started it, and your reaction was just like not good. So I
Yeah.
was kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
you know. And then a couple other people, like on Twitter, were just like talking about it, and I was kind of like, all right, you know, because that was actually a game that I'm kind of looking forward to. So I didn't want to have it kind of like tainted in my head, you know, just from playing like a subpar beta.
Yeah, and I understand it was the beta, but it was choppy, and it just, yeah, the real issue for me wasn't really the how it looked, or the obvious frame rate issues, but the game just seemed just generic to me. I just wasn't interested. I was like, you know what, I've been there, done that, and that was,
Right.
yeah, that was the biggest thing for me. I was, we got off the podcast and I was playing, and I was just like, okay. It was just running around, completing objectives, shooting people. I just couldn't deal with it.
You kind of have like a been there, done that
Yeah,
feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It was, it probably because it probably has to do with the fact that I've been playing games that have, that are more story driven, and so that probably had some kind of influence. But it just seemed kind of generic to me. It's like I've been there, done that. I'm not interested.
Right.
For me, it's I enjoy shooters, but it just nowadays for me it's hard to satisfy me when it comes to shooters because I've played so many, and I feel like they've kind of hit a ceiling a little bit. Except for Destiny, which is Warrior's favorite game. That was just awesome.
Yeah. You have to wait 6 months to get to ceiling in Destiny. they add that in. They add that in later.
Yeah.
Well, you look at like what Slap Happy Gamer just said. He was disappointed in the beta. He felt it was clunky and still understanding that it was a beta, but he was like, "Wow!" And that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, when you get to a point in a beta, you're supposed to be at a point where it's somewhat representative of what
It's called a beta. It's not called an alpha A.
Right.
It's called a beta B. So
so
there should be a little bit of problems, but not that many.
right.
Yeah.
So that should be a red flag.
So Eric, you think that this should be like where we're at with betas? It's a close representation for how the game's going to.
Yeah, because at
Yeah,
that point you're
yeah.
just working out a couple of kinks before you get ready to go to the big show.
Yeah. Well,
Is that the game that's set in Philadelphia, where I guess China takes over?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Somebody was calling it in the podcast last week. They were calling it what's that movie in the 80s? Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
I love the way that you ask questions, Enrique. What's that movie in the 80s? Well, hold on, let me Google every movie ever made in the 80s, and we'll go through the list. It's like saying, who's that actor? The one with the hair,
The one with the hair.
right, and the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Red Dawn.
Yeah. The remake was horrible.
Oh man, that was so
Yeah,
bad.
that
You're
was-
right.
Yeah.
That wasn't too good. I wasn't a big fan of the remake.
Nah.
Yeah, that was kind of cheesy. Was it who's the guy that plays Thor? Wasn't he in that movie?
Yes.
I don't remember his name.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't either.
I
He
think-
was in it though.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise's kid was like the big selling point, or something like that, or
Yeah.
that was like his debut film role or something.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. But the other betas though that have come out more recently, like Division beta, I thought was good. And actually, that's coming out again this week. They're gonna actually have the open beta this week. I think that comes out
Right.
the 18th.
I think I'm going to skip the division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not.
I don't. I don't know. There's just something, I don't know. Single player wise, it doesn't feel like it's quite there for me.
Yeah. Well, we don't. I don't think we don't really know too much about the.
I know it's a co-op, mostly a co-op game,
Yeah.
group
I know it
game,
is.
right?
But
Kind
we
of like
don't-
Destiny.
Does it remind you too much of Destiny?
If it did, I wouldn't even be talking about it.
This actually has a story. This has
Oh.
a story.
I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't feel it.
Yeah. The appeal for me is the just the kind of the party element to it, just playing with your friends, doing missions. That's the draw for me with this game. Same way,
Yeah,
with Destiny, that was kind of the big draw for me.
yeah. I think I'd probably spend more time like in the co-op mission points of it as opposed to like was it the Dark Zone? It's more of a free for all.
Yeah, the Dark Zone is a free for all.
Right.
Yeah, it's where you can have like random encounters and people can like take your shit and stuff and yeah, yeah.
Because those
So
were the older Rainbow Six games. Those were to me the best parts of it. Doing cooperative, missions and things like that.
yeah, yeah. Those were great parts of that franchise.
Yeah. But
So
but back on shooters for a minute. I don't know. Did either of you guys play Wolfenstein: The New Order?
That was excellent.
Fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I did not play it.
Yeah, you should check that one out, Enrique. If you like shooters,
Oh man, I'll be backlogged
and
more.
it's and the best thing about that is its focus is on single player. There's no multiplayer to it.
Right.
So they
And it was very long.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and they put their all into telling a good story. You know,
And it's 1080p on both consoles.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Well, you know what that means, worry.
It means you can play it and feel safe.
That means that one console was holding another console back.
Yes, that's true. But not much I can do about that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, hey, Slap Happy in the live chat said he's played quite a few betas and alphas, but he thinks this might be the worst one. Oh, Jesus. And then, actually, Eric, it looks like Bella's asking you a question here. She's asking you, you sure you prefer doing missions over the DZ? Remember what it was like with me leading you through them? Ha ha ha. What does that mean? I don't know what she means by that.
I don't know. I think she's trying to say that I was like dead weight or something in the.
Okay, gotcha. She's basically saying she was
I'm
carrying
getting
the
the
team.
feeling Bella doesn't respect me as a gamer.
That's okay. Bella's actually not that good at Titanfall, but I won't talk about that anymore. I'll leave that for another discussion, another podcast. So you know what?
You remember what happened last time you said that?
Oh, actually, I think she just chimed in. She's like, no, 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 no. Oh no, she's actually talking to you, Eric. She's like saying you weren't dead weight. Yeah, I hope she doesn't chime in again with the Titanfall comment. I think last time she called me a lying bitch. Oh, here we go, Eric. She said she spent the whole time ordering you around.
Well, it's like every day on the website. It's no different.
Ooh, and Bella just said, Enrique, suck a beep.
I tell you, never play iDarb with Bella.
Bella strikes me as someone that's a competitive gamer.
Yeah.
Would you say that's true? Mm-hmm. Hence the obsession with Call of Duty.
Bella's very competitive.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, I can tell. But hey, speaking of beta, so we were talking about Street Fighter and all the issues it was having right now. We could have seen all this stuff in the beta because the beta didn't even really kick off, really, right? Didn't they have issues with the beta?
I think they had 3 betas for Street Fighter V, and I think each one of them had their issues.
I almost feel like none of those betas were. Yeah, they all had issues, and I think one beta that you couldn't even get online.
I'm reading on Twitter now. It's
What's going on?
The Street Fighter meltdown. So I won't say who's tweeting what, but some of the funny things are. It says Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo has more content than Street Fighter 5 on the PS4. Jesus Christ. Oh man! Wow.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Hey, you shouldn't say that. We're gonna get. You know what?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, you're gonna catch it no matter what. I think, but you know what?
I know.
That's a good point. I mean, Street Fighter 2 shouldn't have more content than Street Fighter 5. Even though Street Fighter 5's, this is the launch of Street Fighter. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think it should have a little bit more content for $60?
Yeah, or as much content for $60, and it shouldn't launch. This game shouldn't launch the way it did. It shouldn't launch broken.
No.
It should. And actually, I was just looking at some of the reviews as we were chatting.
Well, I gotta be fair though. The broken thing, I don't know if it's broke. I mean, it's launch day, launch night. So
Yeah, but
most of the games that are heavily multiplayer focused come out, and there's always issues. Look at Destiny, even Halo. I mean, remember the Master Chief Collection? I mean, they got it together with Halo 5, but I sort of expect problems on the first day.
Oh my goodness, isn't that sad that we expect issues?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We've come to accept it.
You know what? I'll say this. You can't expect an issue sometimes when it comes to a server.
Right.
Right. But you take something like Assassin's Creed Unity that was just broken in every way,
right,
like possible. Right. I mean, for the most part, it seems Street Fighter is running smoothly as far as the game play portion of it. It's just the online, which is a huge portion of it.
But you know what? On the other side, making an excuse and saying, oh, well, I expect problems. There's another side to it. If I'm Capcom and I'm making Street Fighter, you pretty much know that it's going to be popular and it's going to sell a lot.
Right.
So you should be getting ready.
Yeah.
For that.
And that leads back to what Bella just said. She said, 3 betas, none ran smooth. So maybe you can say delay it, but they already delayed it, right?
And they can't delay it anymore. They need to recoup the money, the development costs. Yeah,
they have to. I mean, the longer they drag it out, the more money they lose, and it costs them. And I don't know. Would you guys say this is a cash grab?
Bella said it's not running smooth.
I kind of try and stay away from that cash grab word because, I don't. I guess you could look at it that way, but you got to think about how much time they put into making this game, and it is a beautiful game. I mean, it's not like it's terrible, right? I mean, so at some point, people have to start making money, right?
Yeah.
And you're a consumer, and you want to be treated fairly, and you don't want to spend your money and not get something in return and feel like you're getting ripped off. But again, you don't have to spend your money, right? You don't have to go give them $60.
No, you don't. You don't.
Right. So I don't know. It's a fine line to walk when you say cash grab. What do you think? Do you think it's a cash grab?
I'm kind of like in this mindset now when I feel like when developers rush out games and they know that it's broken and they just want to make money, I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a cash grab.
Yeah.
And I understand. Look, I get the development costs, and I understand that it's a high risk, high reward industry. I get all that, but I feel like we've gotten to a point now where we just kind of accept this stuff as the norm. You know what I mean?
Well, it's kind of easy. I mean, look, the whole console war nonsense doesn't help because you could hide behind, you're just saying that because you don't like console X or console Y, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to just actually saying, no, I'm a concerned consumer and this shouldn't be happening. So, I don't know. I guess you could say there should be more content, but the whole DLC thing now is crazy. I think when you're buying something and there's nothing there at launch, and you're paying for. I mean, God, remember the horse armor in Oblivion last generation?
Yes, I do remember that.
Oh my God, yeah, I remember that.
You want some horse armor? Pay for it.
Oh my God.
We should have known then. That was like they were kicking the door open for
right, and people are just. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people complain because they feel like they have to represent the console. Don't complain, but it's a shame.
Yeah. No, it is, but again, for me, it's just I feel like we've gotten to the point now where we just accept this stuff. Games being games launching broken. What was the EA game, the dice game that launched that had issues? Battlefield? Was it Battlefield 4?
How about every EA game? You're like, what was the EA game?
Yeah, right.
How about every single one, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. Although the Battlefront did have a lot of issues, didn't it?
Except Unravel. I mean, that's fine.
Except Unravel.
Right.
Actually, worry, there was some screen tearing on Unravel.
Oh, please.
No, I'm just joking. That was snow. But I don't think Battlefront launched with
nothing.
Any
EA launched. You know what's amazing? For as much heat as EA gets, right? The servers for Star Wars Battlefront and Plants vs. Zombies are impeccable.
Yes.
Every time I've played a game, it's been flawless. So you got to give them that, right?
Well, yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, Battlefront and and what's it called? Plants vs Zombies. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. And they, you know, I guess they eventually patched the issues with Battlefield, but again, I just feel
But by
like we.
then, people moved on. It was like,
Right.
people were just done. You know,
I was still playing. I was one of
But
those.
you're the exception to the rule, Enrique.
Yeah, I was one of those diehards that just kept playing. It's one of my favorite first person shooters. I just hung in there and continue playing the game. But I don't, guys. I just feel like there's all this pressure now to release games, and I think where you're talking about the console wars, you feel like the console wars kind of pressure developers then to release these games.
No, I don't mean that it pressures I hope it doesn't pressure developers. I hope that they see past the nonsense of it. I think from the consumer end, when for instance, Street Fighter V is exclusive to PlayStation. So obviously there are a lot of problems with it right now, and there's content missing. But I think that sometimes you get away with that as a developer because people are sort of like, let's not talk about it because we got to represent. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Let's give them a pass, right?
Yeah, we got to defend our console.
And both sides do it, but I mean that's not healthy for just general consumers because then you're like, why do I keep getting these games and I have to wait 6 months for a single player?
Why do I keep getting shit? Yeah,
right. It just doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And that's what worries me. I feel like we see these like The Witcher 3. Look at The Witcher 3 came out, and how many times was that freaking game patched?
Mm-hmm.
It was. I mean, I felt like every time I turned it on, there was a patch, and then there was a patch for the patch because the patch they released before messed up the game or
what was really disappointing with that game is when I first got it, the opening when you get past that dialogue part where you see that they're both sitting under the tree and you stand up and you see the lighting and the sun, and how beautiful it was, and then the first patch they took most of those lighting effects down a notch. And you can notice it instantly. And I thought, man, they just changed the whole color palette of the game.
They just dialed it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the game is beautiful, man. That game is just, I mean, now after the 6 million patches, but it's just a beautiful game.
Well, they just did a patch for Fallout 4.
Yep.
Did you guys see that?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So it's like, and maybe that's because, I don't know, I guess maybe developers feel like, we can release the game, it's good, and because consoles are connected to the internet, we can patch things, and that's
it's a strength and a weakness.
Yeah,
it really
it's like social media. It's a plus and a minus.
Yeah.
Oh, I think social media is all pluses.
Because back in the day, man, if you did that on your title, you were done.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
There was no coming back from that.
That's where the whole Nintendo seal of quality came from, because Nintendo put that on their box because you knew when you got the game, it was thoroughly tested. There were no bugs.
Mm-hmm.
They got the reputation for being that company.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you're right. Now it's like, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Well, they can if they're having issues, they can rush the game out.
Right.
They can meet their street date. And they can patch it,
Mm-hmm. And shame on them for having that mentality. I mean, because again, I'm going to use Assassin's Creed Unity as an example. That was a 40 gigabyte patch.
That was day one too, wasn't it?
After it wasn't even. They needed it on day one, but people didn't get it for a couple of weeks.
Isn't that crazy? You buy a game, you take it home, and before you play it, you have to download what is essentially an entirely other game.
That's mind blowing.
I mean,
Blow Diablo said E.T. could have benefited from a patch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The game that killed the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Bella said there's Fallout 4 DLC that was announced today. I didn't see that.
Yeah, you go to the moon or something like that.
You really go to the moon?
I read something about you going to the moon. I don't know if it's literal that you go to the moon. Something about Fallout. I just never was into Fallout. I like the Elder Scrolls series by Bethesda better than their Fallout series.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Warwick, back to The Witcher 3. Now, you were playing it on the other console?
On the what?
It's almost sad. I almost don't want to talk about it. You're playing it on the PlayStation 4 right now with The Witcher 3.
Oh, you said you almost don't want to talk about it? I don't know.
Well, because
Why? Is it bad?
No, it's not bad, but I don't want people to be like, but you were saying that it looks really good on that console.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It really does.
See,
it looks really good.
And have you played it on the Xbox as well?
I have it on the Xbox as well. Yes.
Okay. See,
Are you going to ask me that really crazy question now?
Yes. No, that was kind of where I was going, but
Right. I think the Xbox is like 900p or something like that, or I don't know, something like that.
Okay, I gotta check it out on the
Right.
PlayStation 4 too. Then I need
Yeah,
to get that.
it's sharper on the PlayStation 4. It is. But
It
if
is
you don't
sharper?
have the PlayStation 4 and you have the Xbox One version, you wouldn't notice anyway. So
No, you wouldn't. No,
yeah,
you wouldn't. That's a beautiful game, though. It really
yeah,
is.
it's really really amazing.
Yeah, Eric, you're still playing that right now, right? You just got into it.
Yeah, I'll be playing it for,
Forever.
yeah, I think my daughter will be like in elementary school.
You should be graduating high school before,
Yeah,
before you finish it.
because they keep releasing, DLC for
Yeah,
it.
there's
and everything
there's two
else.
pieces out now, and they're coming out with more.
Right. Isn't like called like wine and cheese or something like that?
Wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese? Is that what it's really
No,
called?
blood and wine. Blood and wine or something.
Oh, blood and wine. Yeah, that makes more sense. I don't know about
Wine
wine and
and
cheese. Would a Geralt become like a wine connoisseur now?
It's
Right.
just like, laying on pillows and
Wine and cheese DLC.
That's hilarious. That's
yeah,
hilarious.
actually, yeah.
You get the wine, but you have to wait 6 months and pay $25 for the cheese.
They're gonna patch
Right?
it
You
in.
download it. It's 40 gigabyte cheese patch.
That sounds like a Destiny DLC. Worry hates that game. It's hilarious.
Bungie's just I don't know what happened to Bungie. I don't know.
Yeah, Bungie's having some issues. Bungie's
Because
having some.
everyone stayed behind at 343.
But they're hiring everybody. They're like, people are leaving,
Yeah.
like companies and going to work there, so they're ramping up for something.
Well, they're
I know
ramping up.
Destiny just left.
Destiny 2 is coming, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they pretty much announced Destiny 2 is coming out. I think 2017,
right.
and there's going to be and Warrior. I know you're going to be out there day one. There's going to be another. They're going to have another. They're releasing more DLC content. Like I think they're going to have one more big release, like something on the same scale as the Taken King.
Who just left to go to Bungie? Somebody making a big game. They left and went to Bungie.
I saw today. I can't.
Yeah,
think
I
of
saw it
his name
today.
again.
I forget the game.
But no, but last week or a week or so ago, someone left a big company to go there, right?
Yeah, there's a game Green worked on, and I forget. I saw it
don't
today.
know.
Actually, a big game too, and I forget the name of it. But they left to go to Bungie.
Interesting.
Right.
B Money says Activision happened to Bungie.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that. Yeah, well, they're a big developer, and they're gonna have their paws and what they're. Oh, the writer from Mass Effect.
Yes,
That's
the writer, Mass Effect Andromeda, the writer for that left,
Right.
and now he went to Bungie. So you assume they're working on a game that actually has a coherent story when it launches.
So, Warrior, here's what happened. I'm gonna kind of. This is what
No, I
happened.
don't want to talk about Destiny.
No, but wait, hold on. Here's what
I'm not
happened.
listening. Yeah, you talk. I'm going to go away.
Warrior's gonna get something to drink and then join us and come back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be back.
No, here's what happened though. So, Warrior, they heard you complaining about the lack of content.
Oh yeah, they heard me.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Right.
Who's this guy, Worry? They saw you in the other podcast, and they noticed your feedback on the lack of story. So they hired this guy, who was the writer for Mass Effect, and they're working on this story for you.
Now, how does that affect Mass Effect Andromeda?
Good
Because
question.
that's not the first person to leave BioWare.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
Right.
I hope that game's not having development issues. I don't think it is. I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think that they can afford to let it. It's one of those games where they have to. They know it's a big game.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? If they're having issues, they'll just release it broken and just patch it later.
They
Right.
better not.
Right.
I'll tell you that, man.
Eric's like, hell no, they better not. Or
No, I mean, I think you even look at 343 with Halo 5. There was no way that game was going to ship broken.
No.
And I think
Yeah, I was worried about that too. I'm like, man, after that Master Chief debacle, there's no way if they release Halo 5 and it has issues, then these people just need to be tarred and feathered or something.
And let me ask you this, Worry, as a Halo fan, and you, Enrique, as far as Halo 5 goes, do you think they were so focused on making sure the multiplayer portion was so...
Absolutely, because
On
the single
point.
player was lacking.
Yeah, that's what happened
Absolutely.
to the single player side. Because
And I'm actually disappointed in that because for me, Halo isn't the multiplayer game. It's the single player story game and
Right.
the world and the lure. And they let me down. I can't speak for every Halo fan, but it's almost like they just didn't pay attention to the lore because there's no way Locke is getting into a fight with Master Chief and even coming close to winning based on just the lure and who they are and the Spartan program and the armor. And in the game, it's like, they're fighting each other, and he cracks Chief's visor with a punch.
Right.
It was sort of like they just forgot their own backstory, and it's just, it was disappointing to me. I was very disappointed, and hopefully they do something with the next one.
Yeah, and I feel the same way.
But you could tell they worked on the multiplayer big time, because everyone that I know that's heavily into Halo multiplayer tells me how amazing it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be one of the best multiplayers for Halo.
Right.
I would say since 2.
Now the campaign itself, as far as co-oping it, it's huge. It's built. You can see that was the scope of it. But as far as that story goes, I was kind of like, what? I don't know what happened here.
Yeah.
And I think that whole visor cracking was for us to kind of. I think they were banking on us going, "Oh, Locke's a badass. He was able to crack Chief's visor."
Yeah, but most of the people know the lore, right?
Right.
Most of the fans know the lore, and it's just not happening.
Right.
And then, there was this big conflict where he's hunting Chief and Chief's a traitor. Remember the marketing campaign? And all of a sudden, when they meet, Chief's like, "Hey, help me," and Locke's like, "Okay."
Exactly. Yeah, the marketing was weird. You're right. It kind of built up this. It built up this story that just really didn't happen in the game.
And there was a line in there with Buck when he just looks at Locke and he says,
they're gonna hate us.
Sure, we doing this?
Right.
We're not.
Everyone's gonna hate us, right?
Yeah, you go, oh, that. I mean, that's a moment where you go.
Right, but then they never expounded upon that.
Exactly.
It was just like, didn't. No, nobody really hates you. Forget it. Oh, you're hunting Chief? Okay, great.
Right.
Yeah, no. And you know what? I think what threw people off too with that game is Halo's always had the focus has always been Master Chief, and you've always played as him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of threw me off a little bit. It was new, and it for me it took me a while to get used to the idea of just kind of playing this. In this team, in this fire team, and
but you know what, the fire team, if you don't know anything about the lore, they just sort of show up in Halo 5, right? You just start the game and there they are.
Right.
Yeah, there they are. Yeah, there's no story.
There's no story about them. I mean, one of the members on the team with Chief is physically stronger and faster than the Chief, but they never go into that.
No, they don't.
You don't know anything about them. You don't know, what their abilities are. Like, for instance, the sniper. You really never know that she's a sniper, other than the fact that she's carrying a sniper rifle.
Right.
Yeah.
She doesn't take the high ground and use her ability to shoot the way she does. Like in the lore, she's one of the best shots in the UNSC,
mm-hmm.
but in the game, she's just the chick with their sniper rifle. She's like quiet in Metal Gear Solid 5.
She's like quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like they expected, everyone has read the books, they've watched the videos, they've researched it, and you can't do that. That's not.
You know what? If they expected that, then why do they expect people to be okay with Locke cracking Chief's visor?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. That was a missed opportunity, I think, to not expand on some of the the story there, because you're right. There is. I mean that team.
And Locke is just a boring character, man. Jesus.
You didn't like him?
No.
He was okay. I thought he was all right.
Holy God.
He didn't really do anything.
No.
Because you go back to like Halo 2 and you had the duality,
right?
Thing going on, but Arbiter is an interesting, character.
If you watch, there's what was the DVD? It was a live action one that came with the game where.
What was
they're on the planet together, and he's not a Spartan yet. He's the actor who played Locke. It was a live action one. Was it? It's not
Forward Unto Dawn, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Was it Nightfall?
Nightfall, right?
Yeah, right.
And in
not
that,
very good either.
In that, Locke is amazing. I mean, as far as giving him stuff to do and motivation and dialogue and stuff like that. But in the game, he's just like when Buck says they're going to hate us, right? He's like, well, you're not the only one here. You're not the only one here because of him, and then that's it. The cutscene's over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why is Locke there? Because of Chief.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and hopefully they build out on Halo 5 the next game.
They have to.
If they don't, I'm probably going to be a little worried.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that they weren't trying to sell us that Locke is the future of this franchise, because
if he is, I'm fine with that, but make him the future. You know what I mean? Don't just make him the guy that's going after Chief and then says, "Okay, I'll fight with you."
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is what we're left with, to believe that Locke is the future of the franchise. That's a little.
I mean, do you remember the trailer for Halo 5 where they jump out of the ship, Locke,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the CG trailer, but they're doing that fighting, and you're watching.
Yeah.
You know, you see Spartan Vale, and she's using her Spartan abilities, and you
Yep.
see Locke using his, and there was just none of that in the game.
No, there wasn't.
Exactly. That trailer, you saw that, you were like, oh, this is
It was
going to be
amazing.
the
Yeah,
best
it
thing
was.
ever.
Right.
It was.
And yeah, and then you got that when the game started, and it was like, all right, here we go. And it was
Here we go. Right.
Yep. Not there.
Nope.
Yep,
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little disappointing. A little
Too
disappointing.
bad.
And if Locke is the future of the franchise, they gotta give us more. We gotta be able to connect with him. You know, we all have this connection with Chief, and it isn't there. You know, and I just
Isn't it interesting how we all have this connection with Chief, and he has limited dialogue throughout every game?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But we don't have any connection with Locke yet, and it's not our fault. It's 343's.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
yeah. It's their job to
Right.
make that happen, to make that
Right.
connection happen.
So I wonder what they're going to do, because didn't Steve Downs retire as a voice
Yeah,
actor?
he retired. Yes.
Yeah, he did.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see what happens next.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
guys,
believe me, I think they're listening. Believe me. I'm sure they've heard the
Oh, they
feedback.
know. Yeah.
oh yeah. I'm sure they've read the forums. They've seen the feedback.
See, that's what worries me though, because Halo 4 was their first crack at Halo, and nobody was sure that they could do it. You know what I mean? And they did, and they know how big Halo is, and it just seems like how do you work on Halo 5 and then it's done, and you go back? It's like a film. You know, when the film is done, the director watches it straight through.
Yeah.
And they had to notice this.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I often worry that if this franchise is seen better days after playing 5, and not that 5 was terrible, but I
agree with you.
I gotta be honest. I mean, do you guys feel like maybe Halo's getting to a point now where people are just haloed out?
I think that there isn't that one big game anymore
Yeah.
in the industry. You know what I mean? Where it's the system seller. I think there's so many games now that I think Halo is still a big game. Obviously, I mean it's an exclusive game and it sells a lot of copies still.
Yeah.
So people like it, but again, it's up to the developer to make it, to make it relevant, because things change and you got to change with the times. But it's up to them. If Halo doesn't endure, then it's not because the fans didn't like Halo anymore. It's because 343 just didn't find a way, to evolve the game and the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I would venture to say they don't even need to call it Halo anymore, because it really has nothing
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
just stop numbering it too. Why are we getting numbers anymore? I mean, just Halo, whatever, the Master Chief Chronicle or Halo, Lock, whatever, something.
Halo Lock, yeah.
Right,
But it
the lock
really-
years, Halo, the lock years.
Yeah, but it really has
Lock
nothing to do
years.
with Halos anymore.
Right. I mean, you can do something completely different. I mean, I was envisioning, like, for me, the end of Halo 5 should have been, Chief takes off his armor, and they're all hunting him, right? And Locke knows what Chief looks like, but instead of turning him in, he just sort of looks at him in a crowd, and as he walks away, they look at each other, and Locke just says, oh, he's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And just lets Chief go about his the rest of his life as a normal person. And then you let Locke take over. That would have been a great ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, but instead it was just sort of like, the end of Halo 5 was, what took you so long? And that's it.
And that's
Right.
it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I expect too much.
No, I think you're as a fan. This is what they've given us. You
Right.
expect greatness from the Halo franchise.
Well, they've also they've set the bar high, and
Right.
it's hard when you're putting out a consistent a quality product like that to consistently outdo what you've done previously.
Right.
It's hard. That's why that's why a game like Forza, I have a lot of respect for Turn 10, because I mean, geez, they're consistently putting out
Yeah,
great
I mean,
product.
it's a racing game, though. It's kind of hard.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, from a development standpoint, I guess, just a game to put out quality games consistently, I think is hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would even say I've been saying with them, from the Forza part of it, with Horizon 3, let's shake it up. Or no, that would be 4 coming up, right?
It would be 3.
That would be
Forza
3.
Horizon
This would be
Forza Horizon
coming
3,
up?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
do something to shake it up.
Like maybe on Zack Island with
yes,
extreme beach rally car racing.
Yeah, with oh gosh, I'm not going to say it.
No,
Dude, just make it like Cannonball Run, the game.
yeah,
Cannonball Run. Oh my, that's an '80s movie, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Burt Reynolds, was that Burt Reynolds?
That was
Yes,
Burt
it was.
Reynolds.
Yes. See, I am old. You know what, guys? I just realized we haven't talked about anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting ready to pass out.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm struggling too.
NPD was great for somebody and not so great for somebody else.
that's
way
our
to put
MP. That's our NPD coverage right there.
That's it. That's it. Insert your console there.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Oh my. Well, yeah. I guess we could summarize NPD like that, right?
Yep.
But you know what's amazing, and I'll talk about NPD real quick. What was amazing was Call of Duty is still number one, and
That's sad.
I just, as we were talking, I just brought up Halo 5. Are people getting, Haloed out now? Are they getting tired of it? How are people not tired of Call of Duty yet?
It's not the single player stuff; it's the multiplayer stuff that keeps it going. People like that Twitch-based multiplayer competition stuff.
I get that, but I don't know. And
it's like Madden. Every year, people complain about Madden, and it comes out and everybody buys it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Madden's a huge franchise. You're right. People put their $60 down for a roster update, pretty much.
Right. And you know how you stop that? The same way, you don't have an Assassin's Creed coming this year.
Exactly.
You don't buy it.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I actually like that decision that.
Yeah, I do too, because it's time to give Assassin's Creed a break.
Oh, you need to break.
Yeah, I've been saying that because I tried 4 and I was just kind of like, I get it, people are digging this, but I'm not feeling it. I didn't care about the ship battles.
Right.
I said for me, Assassin's Creed is jumping from rooftop to rooftop. And
I'm not that big a fan. I mean, that's okay. I'm just not into it that much where I need one every single 6 months.
No, not at all. And I think the problem is too, there's so many other games that do fighting systems so well.
Right.
Assassin's Creed is trapped behind the same fighting engine that they've been using since the first game.
Yeah.
With a couple of tweaks, but it's essentially the same fighting engine.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I was kind of done after 3. And, I dabbled in 4. I skipped over Unity. And Syndicate is actually, the setting of Syndicate is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the characters. I think Evie and what's her brother, I can't think of the brother's name, but I think those are interesting characters, and I like that tone and everything. But I don't know, still got those same mechanics.
Yeah, I'm actually happy. I'm those big. I'm kind of at a point now where I'm just kind of over those bigger franchises that come out every year. It's just too much. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
It's just same stuff. It's just redundant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm amazed to see Call of Duty still number one. And I know where, like you said, people like those Twitch-based shooters. They play for the online, but we're getting another one. We're getting another Call of Duty this year. It's going to be I think Infinity Ward that's doing it this year.
Jesus.
So they have 3 developers doing Call of Duty games.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you got to say to yourself, I mean, when you got 3 developers doing the same franchise, come on,
Yeah.
But you know what? If people are lining up to buy it, I mean, who am I to say not to do it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a cash cow. It's making a shitload of money for them.
What I find funny is that same audience then says, how many Marios can there be, Nintendo? How many times can we save the princess? I mean, how many times did you buy Madden? How many times are you buying Call of Duty? It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Bella's saying that people like things that test their reflexes and teamwork. Okay. I think that's true. I can see that. People like the competitive online piece. I get that. Like paintball, Eric. Yes, people like paintball. But you know what? Another game that's on that list, NPD. So Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is number 1. Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, holy shit, this thing has legs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they re-released it on this generation.
Yeah, but I think they've sold, 60 million units?
Yeah, it's crazy,
man.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, I'm not a big GTA fan either.
Yeah, I like GTA 5.
Yeah,
I liked it. Did you play the online piece or?
No, I don't play the online stuff. But again, that's probably what a lot of people are buying it for, right? I don't think that people are running out to buy it in those numbers for the single player, even though it's there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I could imagine a GTA in the future where there isn't any single player. It's a multiplayer focused endeavor.
You got to believe that's coming.
Yeah.
I mean that just makes sense. Like an online only Grand Theft Auto title thing would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, and as soon as they added in that first person perspective in GTA 5, remember when they added that in?
Yeah,
Where you can switch to first person? I mean,
yeah.
that's sort of like a nod to where we're going.
That was such a big deal for people too when that came out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Eric, are you gonna go paintballing with Bella?
I think we're trying to work it out right now.
Yeah, you work out the logistics. Real life Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So NBA
That's where all this stuff came
2K16, yeah, right. NBA 2K16 number 3, Star Wars Battlefront number 4. So Star Wars Battlefront's still doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4 number 5. War, you're gonna like this. Minecraft number 6.
It's always in there.
That's crazy.
That is insane. How long has Minecraft been like in the top 10?
Probably for as long as the Call of Duty bundle for PlayStation 4 has been on Amazon's top 10.
Can we say that Microsoft needs to do customized
We
consoles?
can. I don't think Microsoft's listening.
No.
I mean,
how
clearly,
about a Minecraft bundle? Hello, the box looking like blocks. It already looks like a block, doesn't it?
yeah, you just throw a new coat of paint on it and put Minecraft on
Jeez.
it. You're good. That's I'm still. I don't know how you guys feel, but I know how you feel, Worry. But Eric, I feel like Microsoft is missing the boat here a little bit. I know we're getting that Quantum Break console, but that's just a white console.
Well, it's leftover stock. They're clearing that white console stock out. That's all it is.
Oh, from Sunset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they essentially touched on that. They said, you know, how much it costs to open a new mold or a new whatever you call it to create like a new console. So, like whatever stock is left in there, they just try to clear it out. They already have that open, that mold, whatever they call it.
Worry, but you brought up something. I think this was on Twitter. You mentioned, I think this was you. You said Microsoft mentioned that it costs a lot of money, right, to make these customized consoles, right? And I think you said, funny, the company that supposedly doesn't have money is doing
it. Right.
Yeah,
right.
and I'm like, yeah, that's. I don't understand it.
I guess it's a different perspective on what they're doing, who they're talking to, what their intentions are. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would imagine that the company with tons of money would have a problem doing at least one custom bundle that you could actually buy in a store instead of, winning it off of Bing rewards or something like that,
Exactly.
But I don't know. I guess you got the Forza bundle, right?
That one was actually decent. That was probably the best.
But there was really nothing like that white Destiny PS4.
Oh my gosh, that thing was sexy. Oh.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, that's what they need. They need something like that. And Quantum Break, I thought it would be that. It's a white console, I guess. Look, the white console is really nice, but
yeah,
I don't know.
That game has so many like graphical elements that could have just easily been
absolutely
like put on that, and it would have looked awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's happened in this generation. I don't know.
It's the oddest generation.
Yeah.
This is kind of an odd generation.
And again, I said maybe they could be waiting. If they are going to do a slim.
Well, I guess I don't know. Who knows? But at that point, it's 3.5 years in, right?
Yeah.
It's 3.5 years in. Yeah.
They may not care.
I don't think they have an interest. I think Microsoft's boat is not in the console water. Mm-hmm. It's in the larger ocean.
Yeah. B Money said Gears will have custom console, but that's about it for this year, I would assume.
You would hope, right?
Yeah.
It's Gears.
Yeah, because you guys
saw a good point, B Money.
You guys saw that Gears console that they did. Again, it was just
that's what I'm saying. Like fans are making these amazing looking custom consoles, right?
Yeah.
But Microsoft isn't. I'm like, just hire one of these people off Twitter.
Well, Microsoft
Exactly.
did. They did
Exactly.
do one. They did a white one for
Another white one, right?
Another white one.
with Marcus Phoenix. No, it was like actually they gave it away. It wasn't getting. It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
made.
Right.
It
You
was
couldn't
like
buy
you're saying
it.
worry. Right.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
giveaway.
Because nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants to go out and buy that.
You know.
So, guys, you think we'll get another white console after Quantum Break?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Right around the time they say Gears of War to PC.
Oh. Hey, Worry, don't say that. People get a little upset if you say that.
Oh, it's all going to PC. Come on.
Yeah,
I might as well get ready.
Yeah, we should. It's funny, Eric, I know at the beginning of the podcast we're talking about kind of the aftermath of the Quantum Break news. You know, and I saw people talking about this on Twitter. You know, what games next? I think it's safe to assume that all the games moving forward now that are Xbox exclusive are going to go to PC. I think Gears is probably the next one, and then who knows? I mean, maybe you guys think they'll bring Halo 5 at some point?
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening. Definitely Gears, but I think everything else moving forward, we're going to see Xbox PC. So,
because I mean, it's crazy to think, you know, it's about making money.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any chance at all, which is debatable, of Windows 10 Store taking on Steam and being relevant, then you have to put every single thing you have into it.
Yeah.
To entice people to use it. You can't just sort of say, we'll take 2 of the 5 games and put them there. No, they have to put them all.
You have that's a great point. You have to make it worth it for them. There has to be stuff on there that you can't get on Steam that you can get on the Windows Store. Yep. And you know, and they got to do deals too. I mean, they got to do stuff like, you know, Sega's doing the we were just talking about it earlier, the free stuff on Steam.
Yep.
I think Worry's fading.
Yeah, it's getting.
It's you need coffee time.
Oh, I need to go to bed.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and actually, I'm right there with you, man. I'm solo this week, like I was telling Eric. My wife's in Boston right now on business, so I'm.
Oh, is that what she told you?
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
No, I'm on business. I swear.
Yeah, I hope she's. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Enrique's like, the milkman hasn't delivered milk all week.
No, the milkman's gonna be dealing with a pregnant woman, so I don't know how sexy that is, but oh gosh, that's terrible. Let's see here. So rounding out NPD, we got Minecraft. Rainbow Six Siege is number 7. I actually get surprised by that. But it's
do they break it down by console, like sold, the first, second, third?
Yes.
They usually put the
yeah. You want me to go? You want me to run down the?
No, I don't want you to. I was just curious if they did that.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, it's interesting. I don't think this is any surprise. Most of the games that are multiplayer or selling Well, no. I mean, they have an online multiplayer component. Seem to be selling better on the most on the Xbox One.
Really?
Yeah.
Which games are they?
Call of Duty, Battlefront.
Yeah, and Rainbow Six.
And FIFA. Well, no, not FIFA. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, but sports titles are PS4.
Sports titles are PS4. Grand Theft Auto selling most on PlayStation 4.
Yep. And Minecraft is crushing it on 360.
Yeah, Minecraft is killing it on 360.
Jesus.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
And that's just 360. Think about like all the mobile devices that kids are running it on.
Oh yeah, my niece and nephew are playing it on both console and on their mobile devices. All right, guys. So that's NPD.
Okay.
We'll run through that real quick. And Crash Bandicoot rumors. So apparently,
no, it was debunked.
Yeah, it was debunked. There was I guess there was a toy trade show.
Yeah.
Somebody was being interviewed, and
they don't have the rights to it. Sony doesn't have the rights to Crash.
No, that's Activision owns it.
Yeah, Activision. Yeah. So even if it came out, it's most likely it would be a multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be an online shooter.
Man.
Yeah.
It'll be a Splatoon clone.
Yeah. Crash. No, maybe Crash is the new call. He's the new character in Call of Duty. Oh my goodness. or maybe not. So yeah, so that's not coming out. I'd actually like to see Crash Bandicoot come back. You guys remember the old remember the commercials back in the Sony days, the
Oh yeah,
PlayStation days?
it's the dude from those the Sonic Burger commercials in the Crash suit.
Didn't Crash actually go to Nintendo headquarters?
Yeah, he's outside with the megaphone screaming. Yeah.
Yeah, like, "Hey Mario, where are you?" Yeah, I do remember that. Those were hilarious. Those were hilarious. So, yeah, I was a little disappointed that they debunked it. I'd actually like to see that franchise come back. Um, I don't know what. Let me ask you guys, what other franchises would you guys like to see come back?
Oh, God.
That's a good question.
You're asking me at 5 of 11.
No, Worry's like,
Honestly, I like to see Panzer Dragoon come back.
I never liked that. I
No?
don't know. I don't know what it was. I mean, it was beautiful. I don't know. Rail shooting to me was just, I don't know.
You weren't a big fan of them.
I liked them, but I played so many. It's just.
What about Crimson Skies?
I like that.
I'd like to
that a
see that
lot.
come back. Yeah,
I'd like to see Mech Assault maybe come back.
Yeah.
yeah. Mech Assault was a lot of
Megasaw
fun.
Good. Yep.
We're talking about just in general, right? Not just
Yeah.
Xbox.
No, not just Xbox in general. I mean, I'd
Yeah.
like to see like Panzer Dragoon come back.
We were just
Toji
talking
would be
about
great.
it. We were just talking about Onimusha. I'd love to see that come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Worried me too, man. Like for real. Like if
Onimusha
they're gonna,
would be great.
if they are gonna bring a franchise back, that would be a really good one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would. And I hope those rumors are true. I mean, that's kind of floating around right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jade Empire.
Well, they don't own
yeah.
it. Yeah. So
Who owns Jade Empire now?
I believe EA, don't they?
Well, yeah. They do.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Boy, how about another Knights of the Old Republic?
They don't own that either.
No,
So-
but wouldn't that be
Well,
great?
there is a remake happening. It's happening in Unreal Engine 4,
Yeah, I saw that.
but
Yep.
it's going to be free for everybody. It's like a PC thing, so
Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely.
it
gonna
is
check that out.
happening. I don't know if they're ever going to bring it to console.
Yeah.
Shit, I just got a new PC, so hopefully I can run it. I'll get that free.
Well,
You'll get it. Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Bella said in the chat that Mech Assault is being redone.
Is it?
For Xbox or just for everybody?
Good question.
Well, you got to assume if it's Xbox, it's going PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, B Money saying Onimusha would be nice to see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
Hopefully, like since the rumor it has been out there, for a couple of weeks, that it actually does mean that it could be coming back. I'd like to see like a true return to form of Ninja Gaiden.
oh yeah, I'd like to see that too. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden definitely. Yeah, God, there's so many. Yeah, there's so many titles. I can't even. I can't think of all of them right now.
Well, we're getting Psychonauts too, so I'm happy about that.
We are
Yeah.
getting Psychonauts too. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was really good. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games to this day. So,
All right, guys. Well, a couple other newsworthy notes before we wrap up here. I was going to
I
talk
love
about.
how Enrique always says, "All right, before we rack up, a couple more points," and then it's like an hour later. All right,
Goes
before
like an
we
hour.
rack up, let's talk about this real fast. I'm like, Jesus.
Where he's like, I gotta go. Bye now. No, just a couple things. You talked about Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic that's being redone on using Unreal Engine 4. We talked about Destiny 2. Watch Dogs 2 is actually coming out too. They announced that's coming out. Did you guys play the first Watch Dogs?
I did, yes.
Yeah. What'd you think? Did you like it?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was all right. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
I dabbled, but it didn't like hook me in. And nothing bad. I just I was too distracted by some other titles, so I just never got back to it.
Yeah,
But I like what's there. I like the bones of it. So,
No, I did too. And what game reminds me of Division? Kind of reminds me a little bit. Some elements of Division remind me of Watch Dogs. Like some of the stuff you do. So, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the podcast because I know I got to get to bed. I got to get up early tomorrow. And
we all do.
Yeah, Warrior.
Yeah.
And I can tell you're fading.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah. So,
But before we wrap up, though, let's talk about one more thing.
what would you like to talk about, Warrior?
Nothing.
He's like, nothing. You want to talk about going to bed?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, hey, big thank you to everyone in the live chat again for popping in and listening to us live and interacting with us as well. We definitely appreciate the comments. And for those who are the 10 viewers we have, thank you again for watching us. Definitely appreciate it. And to my co-host, Worry Word and Eric, thank you again, guys, for coming on again and shooting the shit with me and just talking.
Are you
video
doing
games.
one Friday night?
No, we're going to do
Okay.
it actually Thursday.
Okay.
We're doing so Thursday, guys. We're doing the Green Room, which is kind of our more Xbox centric podcast, and we're probably going to be
That's
talking.
the fanboy one.
Oh boy,
Tune in for that one.
that is not the fanboy one. That is more.
How come there's no? If there's a green room, how come there's no blue room?
The Blue Room's coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we'll have the Mario Room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually Thursday, guys, and we're going to be talking about the OG Xbox and some of the the history of that console and its impact on the gaming industry. So that's going to be live Thursday. So you guys, hey, Worry, Eric, thanks again, man. Again, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on board and joining me tonight. And remember, to the folks who are going to watch us later, remember to give us a like and subscribe as well. And other than that, unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about quickly, we call it a wrap.
Nope. I think we got everything.
All right, sounds good.
Yep.
So we'll be back again with just our general podcast next Tuesday, same time, 9 o'clock. And then again, this Thursday, we're going to be doing the Green Room. So other than that, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye.